Okay, thanks much. Thanks so much, Gary, for your introduction, and thanks for the audience tonight here from Brazil. Okay, I'll be talking about. In this research was developed a methodology to compare the best crops to be managed on Mars. In this case, we are developing in this methodology some steps. First of all, consult the literature to determine production per hectare and also by square meter. Also determine area of production in the concept of a greenhouse model with 25 meters of circumference, also 80 meters of diameter, uh, uh, 3 meters tall, also presenting 4 shelves. Also in this area, presenting the possibility to cultivate an area of 100 square meters. The third step is determine the quantity of food produced during a year. Also consider the numbers of days in the production cycle in the year. In this case, different plants present different cycles in terms of numbers of days to produce the food, arrive in the productive stage. Also, going determine the number of calories that food would generate, how nutritive is the plant. The fifth step, visualize the quantity of calories to feed an astronaut, a regular person on Earth, according to World Health Organization, presents the consumption of 2,500 calories. Also determine how many days the 100 square meters plant cultivation plant would support. In this case, consider that astronauts consume an average of 2,500 calories each by day. Okay, we are proposing a design of a greenhouse. In this case, we are imagining the process of the transportation process using the Starship rocket. In this case, this model is is in this case 3 meters tall and transported aboard of the Starship. Okay. Also aboard the Starship would be possible to transport other many different models like this. Okay. In this case, we have upper view. In this case, we have we have the shelves for the grow beds to cultivate the plants. In the middle, we have the aquaponics, also a corridor. Okay, this is our grow beds to cultivate the plants. Also, in the vertical view, we have an example how the fish would be created in the middle of this model or in the process of aquaponics. Here we have other representation about how the plants would be cultivated, also with fish in the middle stage. Also, the vision of the permaglass greenhouse model that we are proposing. Also, the plants cultivated in the model. Okay. In this case, we need to consider in the greenhouse cultivation process that during a cycle of 2 years, some plants would represent different cycles of production. This is not something is something just only illustrative to see how would be the process of cultivation of the plants and how this would be occurring during a time. In this case, possible examples like lettuce, potatoes, tomatoes, and pepper during a time in a greenhouse on Mars. Also, some models integrated. Also, here is not represented a possible station, but this would be connected, necessarily connected to a station. Also, now consider this approach. We will take an example about how to produce wheat. In this case, taking these 100 square meters to cultivate wheat, these the is interesting to see that 1 meter after our calculus and also our database 1 year the cultivation of a wheat is around 6 months, okay, to the wheat be in a productive stage, okay. In this case, during a year, it's only possible to produce 2 cycles of wheat. Uh, one square meter to produce wheat is only possible to produce around 400 grams, okay, of wheat. In this case, if this is interesting to see, is if some plants would be better to transport to cultivate the plant in the model or transport the flour, the wheat from earth, okay, in powder. In this case, if you imagine the production of wheat during 1 year to produce only 85 kilos or 108 pounds, maybe it would be better produce the transport the flour, the powder to space instead to produce wheat in the space. We know that wheat is very important to produce many kinds of meals like pizza, chapati, also pasta. But maybe it would be better transport the, the, the powder to produce the food, the meals in space, okay? In this case, it's important we have the comparison, looking different plants to decide what is the best plant to be cultivated on space, okay? It's an important question, like transport a model or 2 bags of 100 or 40 kilos to space. In this case, some aspects to observe in a greenhouse operation are related to, we need to look the demands for energy, water, oxygen, also management demands like how the quantity of attention, also how many working hours are necessary to operate the greenhouse, also losses and risks of some cultures. Also, it's necessary to manage the carbon dioxide, also uh, presents controls about. Also, the height of the plant, how tall is the plant to be adapted to the our proposal infrastructure. Also, types and size of the root. Also, recycled sources supply from sanitation system. Also, protocols, times, schedules to be followed. Effective light system, demand of high nutritive plants, and one or the point not less important, the edible part of the plant, because there is some plants that great part of the plant is not uh, be be used to feed the astronauts, and some plants part of the plant is discarded, becoming waste. In this case, it would be more interesting we have plants with a greatest part edible. Uh, uh, One of the reasons is to avoid the waste, okay, and the energy and all the efforts to cultivate this plant. And these are important elements to be considered, okay. Also, it's important we present the question how these conditions and parameters would be adapted for space. Also, other aspects to manage a greenhouse, also levels of oxygen and carbon, water demand and consumption, temperature, the inner climate in the greenhouse. Also, we saw in the Mars series in the episode 5 the botanist opening the door of a greenhouse and losing the cultivation. Also, we need to have a great care about the inner climate. Also, energy demands apply to irrigation, light systems, soil conditions, temperature, humidity, nutrient, biomass, also aquaponics, the quality of water, the use of sensors, also recipients, also necessity of maintenance of these tools and equipments, in irradiation, how the radiations is arriving in the area of the greenhouse, the development of the plants, health or disease, and cycle of the plants, management of cultivation, collection and discard, also food production in terms of quantity and quality, demand for nutrients, and also it's necessary we have a system with possible threats and alerts. Also, we like to review all the initiatives and studies on Mars farming. One important document is the baseline values and assumption document, VVAD from NASA, also available in internet. Okay. Other important initiative is called CMOC. Okay, is that CMOC means a scalable interactive model of an off-world community. Okay, was developed by Arizona State University. Also, one of the responsibles for this initiative, Kai Stats, also did a presentation during the Mass Society Convention. The CMOX is very interesting because it's possible configure different sizes of how would be the setup of a greenhouse in terms of how many humans will be in the station, also the duration of the mission, also the crew quarters, and also other elements. And using this system available in internet, also to educators and also to students interested to think about how to produce food on space. We have different results in terms the demands necessary to operate the production on space. Okay. In this case, we can the system is possible to do a lot of setups, and the researcher or the person interested about would be doing a lot of configurations to have the best results. Okay. Other interesting research is about the project Salad, coordinated by Professor Rafael Loureiro from Blue Marble. He's also assistant in the Winston, professor assistant Winston Salem State University. Also, they have a project called Project Salad. This is one of the projects of Blue Marble. Also, this spreadsheet was presented by Zenep, is one of the members of this group during a recent event about space analog stations. And they are doing like a database looking different data about what are the plants cultivated on space. In this case, you can see here the China is cultivated tomato in a satellite. The peas were cultivated in ISS. Also, the other plants, the cabbage was cultivated in Mir. And also, Zeynep is one of the students, the researchers collaborating with this database. And this database is very interesting because it's very well done theoretical review, and you can follow a very useful database to look and also to try to interact with this group about how we would be more effective in terms of planning, about also returning to the main goal of this presentation here. What are the plants and the more feasible to cultivate on the space in a possible situation on Mars, okay? And now I'm almost finishing the presentation. Also, we will have a lot of unsolved questions for agriculture on Mars about related to what will be the percentage of loss on Mars, what are the risks for crops in space, which plants will be more adapted. These are some important questions related to cultivate food on space that I would like to bring. And also, in my case, in my studies, I completed the achievements related to think about wheat. Also, the research about wheat was presented in GLEX in St. Petersburg. But I would like to start other plants, having a more completed database also to present in the next events, okay, during next year. Okay, thanks so much for the patient and also the attention, and I am open to questions. Thanks so much.